us will ask you questions. I expect you to answer them. Before we start, I'll give you about 10 minutes or less to tell us the journey of your life. Zacharia Njeru ni nani, up to where you are sitting before this committee. We also encourage you to keep within the rules of the House, where we're saying members and the nominee should not engage in any personal exchanges, and so on and so forth. Before we start, to give you time to speak, we need to confirm from you a few things, whether you have, do you have your tax clearance certificate from KRA?
Yes, I have.
You'll show the clerks the originals after I've gone through the list.
Okay.
Do you have your Higher Education Loans Board clearance?
Yes, I have.
Do you have a clearance from the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission?
Yes, I have.
Do you have a certificate of good conduct from the DCI?
Yes, I have.
Have you ever been charged and convicted in a court of law?
No.
Are you a dual citizen of Kenya and any other country?
I'm a citizen of Kenya, not any other country.
You don't hold a passport of any other country?
Yes.
Have you ever been adversely mentioned in any parliamentary committees?
No, Chairman.
Have you associated yourselves with any practices that depict you as biased, favoritism, nepotism in the discharge of public duties?
No, Mr. Chairman.
At a personal level, what is your net worth in terms of personal fortune?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I am worth approximately 80 million.
8 or 80?
80.
80.
80, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah. Made up as?
I have my residence where I stay. I also have, Mr. Chairman.
In Nairobi?
No, in Nakuru.
In Nakuru.
In Nakuru. I also have various parcels of land, and also I have invested in various investment groups and circles. So that's where I get my money from, Mr. Chairman.
Right. I'll give you the opening opportunity. 10 minutes. If you take less, the better. To tell us who is Zacharia Njeru.
Thank you, Chairman. As you've correctly mentioned, my name is Zacharia Njeru. I am married with children, and I'm also a grandfather. Mr. Chairman, I was born and raised in Kivumbini Estate, which is within Kivumbini Ward, Nakuru East Sub-County, which is in Nakuru County. I started my education journey at Bondeni Primary School, which is also within Kivumbini Ward. Then I proceeded to Nakuru Day Secondary School, which is also in Nakuru East Sub-County. Thereafter, I went to Nyandaro High School for my A-levels. After my A-levels, Mr. Chairman, I was admitted at Moi University, where I pursued a bachelor's degree in information sciences. I enrolled for a master's degree, a master's program degree in public management and administration. And I was also privileged, Mr. Chairman, to undertake a senior management and strategic leadership program at Kenya School of Government. Mr. Chairman, I started my working career in 2008 as a sales administrator at DT Dobby, Nakuru. Thereafter, Mr. Chairman, I joined Medson Insurance Company, where I started my 9 years journey in that industry. Later on, Mr. Chairman, I got engaged as a regional manager in charge of the entire Rift Valley with Blue Shield Insurance Company. Mr. Chairman, in 4 years, I rose from a business development executive to a regional manager, and thus is testament to my hard work in a very competitive industry. Mr. Chairman, I was privileged to be nominated as a councillor at the defunct Municipal Council of Nakuru. In that role, Mr. Chairman, I chaired the Public and General Purpose Committee, and I also chaired the Public Health and AIDS Committee. That is where I began my over 10 years career in the public service. In 2015, from 2015, Mr. Chairman, I've been a sub-county administrator at the county government of Nakuru. My experience, Chairman, in both public and private sector has fully equipped me with skills that have made me ready to tackle this Herculean task ahead of me. Mr. Chairman, I have led teams to achieve targets in within timelines and with restrained resources. Mr. Chairman, over the years, I have taken myself as a team leader and a go-getter. And that's what, Mr. Chairman, has made me do well in whichever areas that I have engaged in. It's also good to let you know, Mr. Chairman, that Kivumbini Estate is a slum. And I'm telling people that I'm a good example of what the bottom up portrays. Mr. Chairman, that is Zacharia Njeru.
Thank you, Zacharia. I'll open up to the committee to engage you. We'll start with the Deputy Speaker. We'll ask you questions or comments in batches of 4. You note and answer after the 4th one.
Good afternoon, and congratulations to you, Mr. Zacharia Njeru, on your nomination for the position of Cabinet Secretary for Lands. As you know, lands is Kenya's biggest resource. What is your understanding of what ails the land sector in Kenya, and what do you believe needs to be done in order to overcome those challenges? You must have had the conversations with lawyers upon our land system being collapsed into one land system, the changes that are going on in the Registered Land Act and the previous land system. So we'd like to understand your understanding and your strategies. It's very important. Thank you.
Majority Leader.
Thank you, Chair. Because I didn't introduce myself, my name is Kimani Shongwa, MP Kikuyu. Sorry, I did. I did, sorry. Mr. Njeru, you have heard of Embakasi Ranching Company in Nairobi. And I've gotten very many texts on my phone from people who are looking for a cabinet secretary who will have the zeal and the determination to sort out the issue of Embakasi land buying company. Maybe that is by way of comment, but my question on land is the land fragmentation. I would want to hear what you intend to do or what your plan is on the question of land fragmentation, especially where we are seeing a lot of good arable land for food production is being subdivided into plots of 30 by 66 or 33 by 66. Now it's come down from 40 by 80 to 33 by 66 for housing, and where that sits vis-a-vis the Kenya Kwanza agenda on housing. What's your view on that question of land fragmentation, and how you'd utilize your housing docket, since your ministry now encompasses both land and housing, to sort out the issue of land fragmentation? Thank you, Chair. That's what I have for now.
Yes, Honorable Speaker.
Yes, one day.
May I?
Go ahead, go
Okay.
ahead. It's a sequence.
Yes, Mr. Njeru. I've been trying to reconcile your background, both in academics and professional, with the fact that you've been nominated to lead this very vast and crucial docket of lands, housing, and urban development. And I don't seem to succeed in that reconciliation. Firstly, from this background of yours, which appears to suggest that you have got a fairly limited worldview, because from DTW is insurance, then County Council of Nakuru, and what administrator. What competencies, what schools, what skill sets, what experience are you bringing on the table to be able to deal with this very complex docket in these very challenging times in our country? Secondly, in my search, because I tried to do some due diligence, I came across some matter here in the Court of Appeal, Civil Appeal number 9 of 2012. If it's not you, fine. But if it is you, it'll help us understand what it's all about. Zacharia Njeru, appellant versus Joseph Wachira Kanoga, the respondent. This is a matter that was adjudicated upon and the judgment entered into on the 26th of June 2014 by Justice J. Wakiaga. In this matter, it appears that you are found to have caused a serious road accident which occasioned serious injuries under some very unclear circumstances. Could that have been informed by your poor judgment, poor sense of judgment, or some kind of problem that we may not have been aware of, or the appointing authority may not have been aware of, please help us understand more about it. Thank you.
Robert Mbui.
Thank you, Chair. First, at the end of the introduction by the nominee, he mentioned the words that is what bottom-up portrays. I would like him to clarify that because I really didn't get that. But having said that, when the Kibaki administration came into office, there was a lot of excitement, and they came up with a banner that obviously said, "Land grabbers beware." And you remember that land grabbers, in fact, returned a lot of title deeds that they had illegally acquired, including a lot of parcels along the procession away from State House to Uhuru Park. Now, I want you to tell us, how will you deal with those individuals that have grabbed or bought public land and put up investments, hotels, apartments, and other very expensive investments on those properties that belonged to the Kenyan people? How will you handle that in that docket? Thank you.
Yes, Zacharia, you can answer those, respond to those four.
Thank you very much.
Then we'll take another batch.
Okay, thank you very much, Chair. I'll start with the last question from Honorable Mbui. When I talk of bottom-up, Mr. Chairman and honorable members, I know you will all agree, and this is a question that most people are asking: who is Zacharia Njeru? So what I mean here, Mr. Chair, is that the bottom-up appreciates that people who are not known, people who are not in the limelight, can also be nominated to various positions. Two, about the issue of land grabbing, I believe the government works with what I call R squared, P squared. Rules, regulations, process, and procedure. If we have individuals who have titles and they never followed proper process to acquire those pieces of land, then as a CS, I'll make sure that those titles are processed back. So it's just a matter of how those titles were acquired. If they were not acquired procedurally, then I'll treat them as papers. Now, the other question was skills and competence to deal with my docket. From my introduction, I have indicated that I have experience in both public and private sector.
Chair, this side. Point of order.
Yes, Daud. Honorable Daud.
The nominee has just mentioned, answering Mheshimiwa Mbui, that he will treat those titles as just papers. Is it certain that he will just treat it as papers without going to court? Because as far as I know, only a court of law can cancel a title and not the minister. So can he explain to us more on that?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Point of order, Chair, on a further clarification on my side.
Yes, Mole.
I've just heard the nominee, as he responds to Honorable Mbui, say that if he looks at those title deeds and they were acquired in a manner which is not right, he will cancel or he look them as a paper. Are you not contradicting the appointing authority, which just pronounced themselves the other day that they will be looking on a way to negotiate on such lands?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. When I said that, I really didn't mean that I will shred. What I said is that, to me, we, as a ministry, will take the necessary legal actions to prove that those titles are not legit. We know, Mr. Chairman, we have so many double allocations. We have titles that have been generated away from where they're supposed to be. So what I'm saying, Chairman, is that we'll make sure we go through all those titles, and those that are found not to be legitimate, then we'll take proper legal action. About the accident of 2022, Mr. Chairman, that's something that had escaped escaped me. It's true, I had an accident, and what I want to assure these members and through the chair is that actually I was coming from the graduation of my wife from Meru, and then past Nyanyuki, somebody who just crossed the road, and that accident occurred. Thank you.
Accident of 2022?
Yes.
You talked about
2012. 2012. Sorry, 2012.
About a case of 2012.
You haven't answered my first question.
Which one?
On the competencies, skill sets, and experience we are bringing to bear.
Yes.
On this very docket.
Thank you. Mr. Chairman, I said I am a team player. I said I'm a go-getter. Mr. Chairman, I know I'll be working with qualified and competent personnel within the ministry, and I'm sure with them, my work as a cabinet secretary will be to offer leadership, to come up with the policies which will be implemented by the people I'll be working with. I'm a quick learner, Mr. Chairman, and I know I'll be able to catch up and offer the leadership that is needed in that ministry.
Chair, on a point of order.
Yes.
Maybe because I can see the nominee struggling to explain his skill set. What the Honorable Pio probably is asking, you have a bachelor's degree in information sciences.
Yes.
In view of the digitization program and processes that at the Lands Ministry,
Yes.
how does that sit with your skills? Do you have the relevant skills?
Yes. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I want to explain a bit about this course, information sciences. Information sciences is divided into 4 fields: information technology, archives and records management, library science, and publishing and book trade. Mr. Chairman, I have the IT skills, and more so, I specialized in records and archives management. And I believe what we really need most, especially at the State Department of Land, is proper records and archives management. And those skills, Mr. Chairman, I'll take them to that department.
Good. Next batch, Nishi, Daoud, Hossein, Rahab. Did you raise your... Okay, I'll come to you.
Thank you, Chair. To the nominee, in this country we have been hearing so many reports in terms of land issues: the Ndungu report, the Krigler report, the Waki, the TGRC report. All these reports have come strongly because of historical land injustices. And even one of the reasons why we created National Land Commission was because of historical land injustices. So far, the previous regime have done little to address this issue. I don't know how different you're going to do in collaboration with National Land Commission to ensure that this issue has been addressed. The other thing I want to talk about, we have seen a lot of cases of fraud in terms of land. There's so many petitions lying in the Bunge right now. I've been in the Committee of Land for the 5 years. We have so many petitions, we have so many inquiries, and so many issues regarding land. One of the issues or the option which the previous regime opted to do to ensure that at least they minimize land fraud was the issue of digitization of the land registry process and also digital titling. I don't know whether the Kenya Kwanza government will still proceed on this option, and if they are going to do so, for how long will Kenyans realize this process, shifting from the analog going to digital, so that at least we can have some efficiency? I thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, before I ask my questions, there is this CV in Mr. Mwangi's in the folder. I just want him to maybe later to tell us where it says salary remuneration, you have written negotiable. 2015 to date, you're still doing your master's. It's now 7 years down the road. Because I've done master's, I know it finished in 2 years. PhD is what is allowed 9 years. So I'm wondering, how long will this master's will you finish? The other thing is the past employment you have quoted. I've been a councillor myself, and you were a councillor. No, I was elected, you were nominated. But after 2007, when you were regional manager for Blue Shield, during your councillorship, because even Mayor is there, we still had our own businesses or we were working. So were you just a councillor completely without doing anything else? You have not quoted that. Now let me come to my question. In Kenya, we've got many informal settlements, and some settlements do not have even title deeds. Like mine in Meru, Shauri Yako. I'm not telling Shauri Yako, it's Shauri Yako. So, and there are informal settlements where we need, like Kibra, Mukuru Kwajenga, Majengo in Meru, Nairobi, and others in Mombasa, and all over the country, Mjini, Salama. What plan, if you do make it to the ministry, do you think you will have a slum upgrading project for those informal settlements? And what will be the result of the other housing which will be there in the counties as well? How will you do with the counties? Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. The nominee. Again, I'm David Kosing, MP for Pokot South in West Pokot County. And Mr. Chair, this is a very fundamental ministry, monumental and controversial ministry. A lot of issues. Nominee, I wanted to prepare your mind on that one. And I saw the president moved housing from transport. It used to be in transport. And I used to chair transport committee in Parliament. So it moved from transport to housing now, and lands and housing. And he went on to say he will be going on to do affordable housing, which is a very crucial thing in this country in terms of providing housing for the people of Kenya. Mr. Chair, my reading is, and I want to ask the nominee, that housing, and it was there in last government, but mainly that housing will only benefit urban people, urban centers, towns, and maybe the lower end will be municipalities. Most of us and myself, I represent rural constituencies. So what will it be for the rural people if this house finds you fit to approve you for this position? What will it be for the rural? Or shall we be then dividing our country into serving the urban people and forgetting the rural people? So what do you think will be housing for the rural people? Thank you, Chair.
Mishi, Daud, Hussein, Mukami. Oh, Mukami, you're not, I thought I saw you. But you can surrender to Ferdinand.
No, I can't share. Thank you, Chair. The nominee Mwangi, congratulations. I want to confess that I know you. I met you many years back, and you are reaching where you are today. It's not an easy task. Now, I want to ask you one question. I'm sure you are familiar with Kenya Kwanza manifesto, and you know one of our agenda is affordable housing. What are some of the incentives you plan to put in place to make housing more affordable in line with Kenya Kwanza? The other thing is about the mortgage. Because I'm sure, and I saw our President, William Samoei Ruto, the other day in Mukuru, Kayava, because we want to make sure that those poor people who are living in slums like you, what are we going to do to make sure that they'll be able to take mortgages and pay those houses? Thank you.
You can answer those one number.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'll start with the last one from Honorable Mukami. It's true, I know about the Kenya Kwanza manifesto, especially on affordable housing. The incentives that I'll come up with, although they're still there, I will only try to make sure that they are hastened, is that I will engage the public-private partnership, which is already there. What I will do, Mr. Chairman, is to make sure that we get more of PPPs. And as a government, we also try to give incentives to those PPPs so that the construction of houses is less expensive. Once those houses are less expensive, then it will mean the low-income earners will be able, Mr. Chairman, to afford. Two, as a government also, we will give incentives in terms of infrastructure. When developers come, we give them the horizontal, what you would call horizontal infrastructure, that is roads, sewer, water, electricity, and all that. And where possible, Mr. Chairman, we also provide land. Once we do that, it will mean that the cost of coming up with those houses will actually be affordable. Mr. Chairman, also, there is this concept of rent to own. This is something that, Mr. Chairman, we are going to encourage so that the same amount of money they pay for the rent, the same money will be paid to own the house as mortgage. On the issue of mortgage, it is true this has become a problem and very costly, but we also engage through KMRC, that is Kenya Mortgage Refinancing Company. We try and facilitate that government agent to have more funds through pension funds. We can talk to the pension funds so that they can also help us come up with a fund that developers and financial institutions will be getting money from. Rural housing problem from Honorable Poxy. It's a bit difficult to pronounce. Yes, of course, we have the Rural Housing Loan Fund, and which is actually, it's managed by National Housing Corporation. So this is to make sure that the rural people know about it. Then we come up with the modern technology to facilitate the rural people to come up with houses which are decent and with less cost. I'm thinking of like in Kisii, Nyamira, mostly they build houses using blocks. And we have the hydroform machines, which, Mr. Chairman, are portable, meaning in a village, they can be taken to so many areas where the raw materials is available. You use less cement, and the technology is not complicated. One, that will create employment to the rural young people, and that way, Mr. Chairman, rural people also benefit from decent and affordable good housing. Masters, I'm going to Mheshimiwa, the word. It's true, I enrolled in 2015 for my master's, but I have a long history and story, Mr. Chairman, as to why I've not been able to graduate. Actually, the only part remaining is my thesis. The rest I've done, but due to some situations, I'm unable to do that. But that is work in progress. I'll clear that soon. Informal settlement, slums, upgrading and all that. Mr. Chairman, it's true we have, due to influx of rural urban settlement, we have come up with informal settlements and slums. And one thing I'll do, once this committee approves me to go to this ministry, I will support programs that are geared towards improving the lives of people living there. We have programs like KISIP, Kenya Informal Settlement Improved Programs. We have the KENSAP, Kenya Slum Upgrading Program. These programs, once they are supported, they play a big part in making sure that people living in those slums and informal settlements live a decent life. Also, the government should formalize, because once we should agree that most of these informal settlements, it's hard to get them away from that. So it's for the government. I will come up with programs which will upgrade in terms of infrastructure. We come up with good roads. We provide sewer and all that. So that is something which is doable. And Mr. Chairman, I will strive to do that.
Thank you. Before I take another back, did you answer the question from Ichungo about Embakasi ranching?
And he didn't answer mine as well, Chair.
Yes.
Of title deeds. And Honorable Mishi.
Yes.
Title deeds.
It's good, Zacharia, if you write the questions,
yes,
then you answer them.
All right, thank you. From Honorable Ishongwa, it's true I've heard about the Embakasi ranching scheme. Mr. Chairman, this is something that has been ongoing for long, and I promise once I am in office, Mr. Chairman, if approved, to take this docket. This is something I know it's a hot issue, and I promise to look at it and see how far it has gone. I promise to handle that once I'm in office.
Yes. We'll take the next batch.
There was also, Chairman, the
Yes.
issue of digitization. There was a issue of title. It's true, Mr. Chairman, the issue of digitization was raised by Honorable Mishi, and it is something that has started. I know there are people who might not be happy with it, Mr. Chairman, but when coming up with any new system, there are issues that stand out which don't necessarily please people. But at the end of the day, automation is the way to go. Digitization is the way to go. The hiccups which have been there, Mr. Chairman, I promise once I'm there, I'll do system audit, see where we are not right. And once that is done, Mr. Chairman, it will be the easiest way to do things, especially in the lands registry. So mine is to say that the process has begun. I know there are hiccups, but I promise to look into it after doing a system audit. Thank you very much.
We'll have Owen Bayer, Ferdinand.
Honorable Speaker, a very sensitive question has been missed in terms of answering me. The issue of the historical land injustices, I've talked about the reports. I was expecting to hear from the nominee that this is what he's going to do. Maybe we'll come up with a bill to ensure that the historical land injustices issue can be addressed, or maybe he's going to look on these reports and what will be a way forward from the Kenya Kwanza government. Because Kenya Kwanza government, during your campaign, you pledge a lot of things in terms of land, especially in the Rift Valley and Coast region. So we want to hear on that. Please, excuse me.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. It's true, there have been reports concerning land injustices in Kenya. We've had commissions, TGRC, we have had the Ndungu report, we have so many reports. Mine is to assure the honorable member, Mr. Chairman, that I will not sit on those reports. We'll go through them as a ministry and take appropriate action. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Owen, Ferdinand, Morogara, Amisi, Raso.
Thank you, Speaker and Chairperson. Mr.
One more, so ask one question each.
Okay. Zacharia, nice to meet you here. The reason why the ministry has not succeeded, because I have been part of the Lands Committee in this parliament for the last 5 years, is conflict between the National Lands Commission and the ministry. And this has impeded progress in both the National Lands Commission and the ministry. I'll ask more of an aptitude question. What is the one distinction between the ministry and the NLC, and where do they meet? So that you're aware, we are aware that you can actually steer the land docket very, very well. And also, Mr. Speaker and Chair, officers in the Ministry of Lands have also been one of the greatest impediments that have created squatters left hand and right, because they allocate land to themselves instead of, especially in settlement schemes, instead of giving to the people. And the issue that Mishi is raising, the HLI, the historical land injustice question, is a big issue. And the Kenya Kwanza, the president has pronounced himself that he is going to buy land and give to the squatters. But if ministry officials and big people in this country are always the beneficiaries of these schemes, how are we going to put a stop and ensure that land goes to the people? But what is the biggest distinction between the Ministry of Lands and the National Lands Commission? If you understand that, then I think I'll vote for you.
Ferdinand?
I'll vote for you. You will not. Zacharia.
Point of order, Chair.
No, Zacharia, no, that's not important.
Point of order, Chair.
Yes, Mole.
I want to urge members, please, we still have the latitude to say that. The nominee
We are here to vet. Please.
Just joking. Zacharia, I want to take you right to the rural area, particularly where I come from and where most members of parliament come from. We have this family. You have a family of maybe 10 boys. No, not 5 boys for that. Say from a rural area where I come from. Those are the boys in the family. And you have land, say 30 acres of land. Then of course along the time, you subdivide that land according to the, as a boy gets married, you supply, there's no jobs, you subdivide until there's no more land to subdivide. Out of 30, maybe you have now left with 5 acres. What are you going to do if you become a minister to be able to stop this? Because I'm taking this, I had a chance to go to South Africa, and we drove from Johannesburg to the West Orange Free State. And what we were seeing is that families are now living in the villages and living part of the land for cultivation. And I think if you remember, maybe most people here are not there, Zacharia Njeru, the president of the Republic of Tanzania at one time, talked about Vijiji wa Jamaa, where people stay in the villages and living the area for cultivation. The problem today, 20 years to come, if we just leave it like that, we will not have land for cultivation. What will your ministry do if we put it there as a minister for lands?
George Murugara.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, first and foremost, I think we need a clarification from him regarding the case and the accident he talked about. And he has said he used to work with Madison Insurance, which means he knows about subrogation. That after the accident, did you report to your insurance company? Did they take over the defense of your case? And therefore, what is appearing today should only be your name. But the real defendant is the insurance company, the appellant. That you need to clarify so that nobody says you got court cases hanging all over, and we've actually let that pass. Number 2, title deeds are sacrosanct. They are not mere pieces of paper. Whichever way they are, and my 2 questions relate to title deeds, whichever way. Number 1, my constituents, Tharaka, half of the constituency is not titled. And that is very unusual, especially for a constituency from the Mount Kenya region. Will it be your policy that in the next 5 years, areas where citizens do not have title deeds are actually given title deeds because of what we have said about them? The converse of that, in the same Tharaka, in some areas, we have residents who live on land where they have no titles themselves, but other people, absentee, possibly because of their positions, actually have titles over those lands. The scenario is we have people, the locals, who live on the land without titles, and absentees who have titles but have no land. What is your position, or what will be your policy as regards solving such matters in the most expeditious manner, so that these citizens are also able to live with the title deeds in respect of the land?
Thank you. Yeah, the TGRC report, a very comprehensive report, sought to address these historical land injustices in this country once and for all, and especially on ownership. Ownership of this land in this country is as some kind of unfairness where people just have large tracts of land idle. If you fly, I don't know if you've flown to Europe, if you are landing, you will see from above large fields of agricultural land and a patches of residential, so that land is left for agriculture. In fact, it is given to only individuals who can do agriculture. And if you can't do, the government does. Then the rest of the small fields is left for, for residential like towns. If you come to Kitale, very arable land that was even sought by the white settlers, it is full of gated communities now. Now people have nowhere to, you can't get large tracts of land now in Kitale, and so many more places. I don't know, you are coming in at, land issue is emotive, and we want serious progressive changes that is even going to disturb the stubborn status quo. Those even who have the land, even the appointing authority, you need to face them in the eye and say this is wrong, and they do the right for the country.
Russell.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Njeru, if the House approves your nomination, you will be occupying one of the largest dockets in the land, where you will be addressing the issue of land. Land is a major factor of production, and I come from the arid and semi-arid lands, and I represent almost 70% of the landmass of Kenya. While the people might be few, but actually they are the owners of the largest tracts of land. The problem is, this land does not belong to them because they do not have any titles and there is no ownership. So many will believe it's just vast land, but they are the owners, the inhabitants, the customary owners. My first question to you is, what is your belief or philosophy on the community land? And what measures are you likely to put in place for operationalization of Article 63 of the Constitution? A subsidiary question is on boundary. A lot of altercations between communities, even in those agriculture areas, is about boundary. More so, it is more attenuated or even more pronounced in the ASAL areas between different warring communities. There has
Rugara, MP Tharaka, Ukoni Tharaka Nithi, I'm a member of this committee.
And my name is David Kosing, MP for Pokot South, West Pokot County.
My name is Abdul Rahim Daoud, MP for North Imenti, Meru County, and a member of this committee.
Honorable Mishimboko MP Likoni, a member of this committee.
Nelson Arab Koech, member of this committee.
Yeah, Caleb Amisi, MP Saboti.